Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with a brand new episode. Today's guest is a cool one. He is a police officer. I'm thinking for Dallas County, is that correct?
City of Dallas.
City of Dallas. Uh, One of the coolest guys I've met. When I first met him, he scared me half to death because he's one of those cops that are huge, big dudes, you know. His name is Terrance Hopkins, aka T Hop, the Super Cop. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, thanks, Trent. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Not that big. I shouldn't be scary. Uh, if I give that appearance, brother, I never mean to. And when most people meet me, they know I'm kind of harmless.
So you're a police officer. How many years have you been a police officer for?
Man, a little over 30. It'll be 31 in September.
Man, and you're still on that. You're still on duty and everything.
So I'm not a street cop.
Mm.
I am a tactical planner, special event planner. So I plan large events that come to Dallas, like the marathon, the Christmas parade, the state fair, protests, marches, demonstrations, presidential visits, anything that comes to town major. I pretty much plan it.
Yeah. And what's your rank as a police officer?
I'm a senior corporal.
Senior corporal. Okay. And like, is that I don't know anything about ranks. Is that like top tier almost?
Not at all. Not at all. A lot of
Really?
people think I have. No, I have that is the second rank on the police department. There's police officer and then there's senior corporal. What happens is when you become a senior corporal in the Dallas Police Department, it is a position that allows you to go to almost any unit in the department. So as a police officer, you can't do everything that the department offers when you talk about a large city.
Hmm.
So as a senior corporal, I can now be any type of detective, investigator. If I wanted to have a dog, if I wanted to go to the mounted unit, ride the motorcycles, fly a helicopter, it's the position that opens you up to everything there is to offer on the department.
Wow. So have you thought about becoming a detective? Are you a detective in this state?
No, 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 not at
No.
all. Uh, Never really interests me. The special projects that I do, that's probably where I needed to be.
Yeah. So I want to ask because you also host your own show, Police Talk 101. Where can people find that if they want to listen to you?
But of course, on Full Radio Network on Tuesday nights from 8 to 10, Please Talk 101. Also on Facebook, I do it on Please Talk 101 Facebook page and share it from there. So those are the two basic avenues that you can find me on.
Very nice, very nice. And so I've actually been on your show. I've produced it, and you have some very cool topics that come on. You've had political candidates on. When you started this show, what was your main goal with the show?
Really, the main goal was to first of all give people access to police conversations,
Mm.
why we do what we do, to kind of just bridge that gap by just informing, right? Because a lot
Yeah.
of times people don't know. They have an idea or they heard something somebody else told them. But until you hear us actually say, "Hey, this is why we do what we do," or this is some of the things that we might think about in this particular scenario, and then just exposing people to different people that they don't normally have access to, which is why I bring a lot of judges on, city officials, and things like that, because you hear about them, you see them in the paper, read about them, but you never really get to have that organic conversation with them.
Nice, yeah. Because that's one thing we're having issue with, especially now. There's not enough communication going along with police officers and citizens. And it's cool that you started a show to do that. I respect that very much because that's our biggest issue right now is police reform, defund the police type stuff. And I wanted to ask a police officer this question: Is that do you support defunding the police?
So Trent, we've been throwing that word around for a while
Yeah.
now, and a lot of people shape it many different ways. I just simply call it reallocation of some funds.
Hmm.
No, I don't want to see a police department closed or folks lose their jobs, but can we use funds in other areas to solve some of the problems we're having? Of course we can.
Hmm.
So that's my take on that.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you because you're a police officer, obviously. Uh, what was the like? I've always wanted to ask. There's so many questions I've always wanted to ask police officer. By the way, so you're gonna hear that a lot.
I don't have a problem answering any. Probably
what
got that from the.
What has
Yeah.
been the hardest thing about being a police officer?
The hardest, man, I never really qualify it as the hardest, but for me, it would probably be the fact that some people really have a problem trusting some of us.
Mm,
So not none of the gory stuff, not murders and seeing this and seeing that. Probably that the fact that we're supposed to stand for law and order and trust, and that's been damaged.
yeah, yeah,
That's just
yeah. Have you experienced any of the hard stuff that's ever happened to police officers? Like, have you had to deal with shooting and all that messed up
man. Let me tell
stuff?
you, yeah, in a major city like Dallas, you're going to have dealt with every bit of everything that you can see in life. So I've seen dismembered bodies and
Man,
decapitated and shot up bodies, and I've seen it all.
man, how does that? How does that make you like think in like your head? Because you see these horrific acts, and like, how does that? How do you cope with that mentally?
Well, Trent, that's part of the problem in policing. A lot of guys don't know how to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to compartmentalize it, process it, and different things like that. And that's the reason we have some of the issues we have today. So you're going to see some things that could really do a number on you mentally. So I learned early on in policing is that you have to have, let's just say, a happy place, a
Mm-hmm.
getaway, a stress reliever. Unfortunately, in our profession, police officers hang around nothing but police officers. And then you don't get a chance to disengage like you should truly disengage. So if I'm hanging around my buddy, guess what? My conversation is still policing. If I was to hang around you, we may have a different relationship in listening to going out listening to live jazz or
Mm.
rock music or hip hop or whatever, just something other than constantly regurgitating what I see on a daily basis,
Yeah,
right? In this aspect, I don't mind talking about it because this is informing the public. The questions that you have are questions that a lot of people have, and people want answers. So this is my opinion. This is what I have based on my experience. But people, what they like to hear these conversations, get involved in them, and I don't have a problem doing that.
yeah, yeah. And I respect you for coming on the show and discussing this stuff and answering questions I've always wanted to ask police officers. Is like they. Fun fact about me: when I was young, my dream job was to be a police officer. In fact, I wanted to be the motorcycle cop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then when I used to live in Crowley, we would always get pulled over by the same cop on a motorcycle, and that made me not like being the motorcycle cop because we called him RoboCop because he'd always get us, and we always make fun of
Right.
that. And then especially in this time and age, man, it's hard being a police officer. There's not enough trust in the world towards law enforcement, and it's especially what's happened in the previous year and all that. It's going down with trust and with defunding the police and gun violence as well. It's hard.
So Trent, I don't view it as hard.
Mm,
Are there challenges? Yes,
yeah,
but you heart's in the right place. You truly took the job to help people, not abuse people or exercise too much authority over people. You should still enjoy the job. It
yeah,
should come really to you. Now, does it bother you when you get somebody that's, oh man, I don't trust not a one of you, or I hate police? Yeah, that bothers me. It should bother me. It should bother you if somebody said, hey, I
mm,
hate, now I'm not going to live for it, but why is that? Why
yeah,
would somebody take attitude on? And then what can I do to change that? That's my role also. Each and every one of us.
mm,
You know, charged with that responsibility. So that's the way I see it on that issue.
So to lighten the mood a little bit, what has been the best part about being a police officer?
Oh man, the people I've met, the people I have been able to change their mind or have an impact and say, man, that officer was pretty cool. He was fair,
Yeah.
treated me right. So those things go a long way. And unfortunately, the media is not sticking the microphone in the face of the guy that got treated well. It's in the face of the guy that didn't get treated so well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but as long as I can touch somebody that way and they can tell somebody, no, man, they're not all bad. There's a lot of good officers out there. That's my charge. That's my mission.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to ask you something about some personal life. Are you married?
I am married, 3 kids,
Wow.
all out of college. Yep.
Wait, all in college or out of college?
All out of finished
Wow.
college.
Wow.
Uh, they all have degrees. One has a bachelor's and two have masters.
Wow.
So,
Man.
by the grace of God, very, very successful on that side.
Mm. What does your wife do? She a cop?
Nope, I don't think I would have done that. She works in a collegiate school system.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Um, on that subject, I like to usually when I meet people who are married, I like to ask, how did you guys meet? Seeing that you're a police officer, I really hope the answer is I was arresting her, but it's probably
Nah,
not that.
not not gonna be that good. Man, I met my wife. I used to own a gym in North
Really?
Dallas. Yeah, and I was just kind of building up some business and looking for some more clients to either train or come to the gym.
Mm.
And I was putting flyers on cars at a shopping strip not too far from my gym, and that's how I met my wife. I ended up training her to get ready for her last kind of model shoot, and started from there.
Wow.
So that was delivering a flyer at a dollar store.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's an interesting story. So you owned a
yeah.
gym. So how did that go?
I went well. I owned it for 15 years.
Wow. I mean, like
Yeah.
I in person, you're a pretty big dude. All right. So you have to be working out all the time. Like, what's your workout
I'm
routine?
a, I'm a regular sized guy, man.
No, you're not.
uh,
I'm a regular
you
sized
know,
guy.
Trent, I just, I grew up, participating in a few sports. So,
Mm,
I was somewhat of an athlete. So fitness just kind of got ingrained in me to always be doing something with my body and with my fitness level. And of course, this job, right? It's a
yeah.
job that can become very physically demanding. So of course you want to stay in shape because for this job, being in shape could possibly mean your life.
Yeah.
So another driving point. So I competed once I got on the police department. I got on a police department powerlifting team, competed around the world, won a world championship, and so from then on, I just kind of always kind of stayed fairly fit. I would call myself kind of not in the best of shape right now. Just coming from the gym actually, so still working on it, man. And so for my age, it's a it's important to me at my age to kind of run circles around guys your age.
Yeah. Hey, it's fine. So let's talk about your show, Police Talk 101, which you can guys find on fbrn.us Tuesday nights. What were the times again?
8 to 10.
8 to 10. So you talk about policing stuff. You have political candidates on. You have interviews. What has been possibly one of your favorite episodes so far?
Wow, Trent, I've had so many. And again, it's hard for me to say which has been my favorite because I've had so many. I've been doing it 3 years now, going on four, I believe. Just shows where people actually get good information and they're just like, oh, I did not know that. And one of the main shows, just simply discussing with people, just, I believe I was asked a question, why do police officers always say show you their hands? And I told them, hey, we're trained that what is going to potentially kill you is going to be in somebody's hand, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a gun most. And they're like, oh, that's why y'all always say that. So, if we're taught that's what's going to potentially kill us, then yeah, that's why we want to see people's hands and take your hands out of your pockets and show me your hands and drop whatever's in your hand, because it's a life or death situation a lot of times. As you've seen in a lot of shootings,
Mm-hmm.
what was mistaken as a gun was a cell phone. So that's why get whatever it is out of your hands. Let me see your hands. Because in a split second, it could be my life. So it's a very, very critical situation. So simple shows like that have been my favorite. Shows that can help people. We do shows on child abuse, right? Human trafficking that can really help somebody learn something to keep somebody safe.
Yeah. Now, to reverse the question here, what has possibly been your worst episode? As an
You
interviewer,
know,
as a fellow broadcaster myself, everybody has one of those bad shows. No.
you know, I would say early on, a guy was listening to the show and it got pretty heated, and he really wanted to just kind of, no, this is the way I feel and screw y'all and blah. I said, look, guy, and I forget who I had on, but it's kind of that going back and forth. And it was, I'm a firm believer in, we're all different people, we all have a point of view, uh, but we should all be able to sit down and discuss that without it being a war, right?
Yeah.
uh, and he had a real strong point of view, and I think somebody else did too. So when the other person would voice their opinion, he would just over talk and be really aggressive. I said, hey, they allowed you a chance to speak, so you need to do them the same courtesy and allow them a chance to speak. So he kept doing what I ended up hanging up on him. So that was the only guy I hung up on. I was like, look, this is my show. You're not going to disrupt it to that level. We're going to listen to you. And, I give you all the respect in the world to voice your opinion on how you feel about something. But you're not going to beat up any of my guests by not allowing them to speak to what it is the conversation's about.
All right. Yeah. So my friend sent me a link of questions to ask police officers, hard questions to ask police officers. And I'm gonna ask you a few of these. All right. These are fun, kinda, not really, but
Right?
so this question is number one. If you witnessed a fellow officer committing a crime, what would you do?
I would try my best to stop him. And then if he did it, I'd turn him in.
Wow. That's it.
Now, you might say, bull crap. No, I'd turn him in.
All right. All right. Uh.
I mean, again, if I couldn't stop him and have that conversation with him, and they still chose to do it, I'm not going to put myself in that position to live with that. No, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Have you had any encounters with the law yourself?
Dude, I growing up, I didn't grow up in the neighborhoods. Grew up poor. I don't have a problem telling people that. I was hanging around with an older guy. You know
Mm,
how young boys are, right?
yeah.
I might have been 13, 14, hanging around with one of my neighbors. He was probably 18 or something like that. Mom would always tell me, don't hang around that old dude. Well, I knew he was kind of shady, but that's cool for us young boys. So there was a house that burned up in the neighborhood, and it was halfway burned. And he says, "Well, hey, if that family's gone, we can just go through there. They left everything, right?" So we go through the house, and he takes a couple of things, and end up put them in his garage. And I'm thinking nothing of it. The older guy told me they deserted the house, and everything in there was pretty much either left behind or whatever. Well, I go home that evening, and my sister, I never forget, she says, "Ooh, you in trouble?" I'm like, "What?" She says, "The police came over here looking for you." I said, "What?" So that older guy I was hanging with, I think he had probably burglarized a few houses in the neighborhood or kind of up to no good. And they heard that I was with him and stuff like that. So of course, I was scared senseless and probably beat senseless back in those times with a nice belt or something like that. But yeah, that was, and again, those officers did come to my house, and two white officers, and they said, "Look, that guy you're hanging around, bad news. You shouldn't be hanging around him. But I don't know if they could have put me in jail, but they didn't. You know, they told me right from wrong situation and told my mom, like, okay, you can handle it. And she handled it, trust me.
Wow. All right. You know, I wish I had a story. uh, the worst thing I've ever done was steal like a pack of gum from the store, but then I went and
Right.
returned it. Like I tried my best not to handle the police. Like I've never gotten a speeding ticket. Um, and
Lucky dude.
I was in Grand Prairie the other day, and I was doing some delivery stuff, and I was going into these apartments, and this police officer in like the SUV was following me. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Like I'm not speeding. Everything's fine. Seatbelt's on. I'm like sitting here confused, and like my phone's up here on a mount, so I'm not like looking at it, looking down type of thing. I'm like I'm not doing anything wrong, and I turn into the apartments, and he drives away, and I was like, my heart nearly stopped because like I I don't want to get pulled over because the thing is I don't know what I would do. Like if I got pulled over, like
Right.
what do I do here?
Oh man. Let me ask you something since you're saying that, Trent, and you're making light of it. It's funny, but you know how many times have you heard? You probably heard on my show where
Mm,
black guys are afraid they're going to be shot.
yeah,
That's not what you're saying.
I'm not. Yeah, and it's
And look at that.
it's a terrible
Look at
thing to say.
the
Like it sucks that like my fellow black friend is scared to leave the house, but I'm like on here like, oh, I know the cops.
yeah.
Hey, Officer Randy. Hey,
Right.
and
I mean, we all have our own different experiences, but I just want to point that out that you
yeah,
know that concern of yours. It's just now I don't want to be stopped. I don't want it to do, but you're not saying I'm afraid I might be killed.
yeah, yeah. Uh, I want to ask you this one. Can you describe a very distressing situation in which you remained calm and collected?
Well, Trent, you hit one of those deals, man. I am pretty much always calm and collected. People always say, "Man, why are you so calm?" You know, so I that's normal for me. I stay calm and collected through almost anything that I encounter.
Yeah. Uh, what made you want to get a career in law enforcement?
You know, I was always kind of interested as a kid in good guys catching the bad guys and things like that, and so that was always interesting to me. It wasn't my first choice. And when I got out of college and moved down here to Dallas, one of the first jobs I had just to get some money coming was become a security guard. I was working at an apartment complex, and there was a suspicious guy. He's a black guy. He was sitting in I think it was a convertible Trans Am or Camaro or something.
Mm.
And I go up doing my little security guard stuff. Well, he's an undercover police officer staking out a place. And through our conversation, he was like, "Man, you ought to apply to become a police officer." And I'm like, "Well, maybe I should." And so I applied and eventually became a police officer. But now I had two attempts at that. I actually failed the first one, the first polygraph.
Mm.
Anyway, 30 years later, I'm a police officer.
Because like, isn't that when the qualification is you like you have to take the polygraph test, and if you fail, you're out or something like that?
Yeah, so I failed the polygraph, and that was a very controversial thing back then. And you can tell, there weren't a lot of black guys on when I got on. And, there was actually five black guys that were in my second academy class, and they had all failed their first polygraph. And they said that, hey, sometimes that's the way they hold certain things against black guys. And it was one of those deals, man. So I failed the first one, and I was telling the truth, Trent.
Mm.
And the question he said I was deceptive on was, had I smoked marijuana? And like I said, being an athlete and stuff like that, I said, nope, never chose to do that. I had a lot of friends that did it, but I didn't. So he said I showed, dishonesty or whatever he worded it as, and I was done. I had to sit out a year. I tried again and ended up making it. So had even one of those stories, dude. So I've kind of been through a little bit.
Wow, interesting. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is it because in the state of Texas it's not legal, but if you smoke pot as a police officer, could you get in trouble?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah,
Really?
most definitely. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if what if it's medical? So I'm guessing no.
Yeah, we have a strict drug policy, and if you test dirty twice, well, in the same incident, which means let's just say there's a possibility of a bad test. So if I test and fail that test, I'm going to immediately go take another test to make sure there's not a false negative or whatever. So, and I'm most likely I'm gonna get terminated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. All right. So
Mhm. Yeah.
what is a police officer's like? What do you do on a daily basis as a police officer?
Well, for me, again, my job's very different.
Mm-hmm.
And mine is planning, security packages for different events and where police officers are going to be, how many are going to be there, what they're going to look like, and things like that. So, uh, very different from me. Now, when you talk about your ordinary patrol officer, it's getting your equipment, checking out your car, you and your partner, uh, marking in service, and now you start receiving whatever calls are coming out in that community. So, and that's everything from a loud music to a shooting. I mean, and everything in between. So you're just responding to those calls and figuring out what's what, doing the necessary reports, and which are offenses and charges against an individual if they've committed a crime. If they're still there, you're making an arrest, writing tickets if that's the case. So just that's the gamut right there.
All right. All right. So real quick, T Hop, I'm challenging you. Are you ready for this? So
Go ahead.
I like to play little games with my guests, and as a police officer, I know that you're not a detective, but I want to see if you can solve this case. All right. So here we go. You've just brought me in for questioning, and we're gonna play two truths and one lie. Oh yeah. So you gotta tell if I'm telling the truth or if I'm telling the lie. So you ready for
Okay,
this?
let's
Oh,
go.
my hands are already sweaty. I'm so nervous. Oh, was that a lie?
Yeah, right.
So the first thing, I played the saxophone for 10 years. All right. Number two,
Okay.
I am currently married. And number
Okay.
three is I'm actually a ordained minister. What is the two truths and what is the lie? So you can go ahead and ask me questions, try to figure this out. Be a detective. So here we go.
Hmm. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
20 years old.
Mm.
You have a girlfriend?
Well, I'm married, obviously. So,
Oh, you're married. I'm sorry.
yeah,
My bad. Bad question, detective.
yeah.
All right. So you're married. How long have you been married?
About 1 year, 1 to 2 years. Yeah, I get confused with it.
All right. Any children?
No.
Do you attend church?
Yes,
Do you hold any positions in the church?
I do. I'm the director of digital media.
All right. Um,
Oh yeah. Am I getting you, Copper?
what was that?
You getting me, Copper, yet? Huh? I'm cool and relaxed.
No, no worries at all. Know how to read music.
Yes,
Okay. Um, have you ever performed musically in front of anybody?
I have.
Okay. So I'm done.
Okay. What is the two truths and what is the lie?
You play the sax and you are ordained.
The survey says you are correct. I have played the saxophone. I am an ordained minister, and I am not married. See, I told you. You can be a detective.
Not bad. Oh no, I know I can be, but that was interesting. I just never had the desire.
All
That's
right,
all.
so now we're gonna test my capabilities. If I can be a detective, you're gonna tell me two truths and one lie, and I'm gonna try to figure it out.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
So
All
we
right,
keep it
very good.
fair. We like to
Let's
keep
make
things
it
fair.
fair.
Let's make it fair. Let's see if I can
Gotcha,
figure you
gotcha.
out.
All right. So, and how am I supposed to ask these questions again, or make the statements?
You just say like, oh, I'm a police officer. I'm
Okay.
40, and I have three kids. And it's like that.
Got it. Got it. Got
And
it.
then I'll sit here and ask
Oh,
questions.
got it. So, in my spare time, I like to skydive.
Okay.
When I travel, I use a fake name,
Okay.
and most of the time I'm off duty. I'm pretty drunk.
All right. When off duty. All right. All right. So, what is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear
Mm.
right now, I'm currently catching COVID.
Yeah. Okay. Um, if you did go by a fake name, what is that name?
Hmm. TJ.
DJ. Okay. All right.
DJ.
DJ. You got to think about that one, to be honest.
Mhm.
What's
I didn't know
your?
if I should tip.
Oh. Oh. Okay. What's your
Uh,
poison?
what's my poison?
Yeah.
What's my poison? Probably too much alcohol.
Too much alcohol. All right. Is there a certain drink you like to drink? Yeah, just
Long Island,
all right. Okay. All right. When was the last time you traveled?
uh, 2 weeks ago,
Where'd you go?
Las Vegas.
Was it nice?
Very much.
Did you gamble?
Do I or did I?
Did you?
I did not.
You did not. Okay. Okay. Did you go with your wife?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right. Did you drink in Las Vegas?
I did.
You did. Okay. All right. I think I got it.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So, I think in your free time you do not skydive. I think that's the lie, and the two truths is you're the fake name, and you're drunk when you're off duty. Because one, you're a police officer, and boy, I would respect you if you did drink. So, am I right?
Nope, you're not.
Dang it! Well, wait. So you do skydive?
Nope.
So wait, that's the lie. That you skydive.
Skydiving is a lie.
Okay.
Getting drunk off my butt when I travel is a lie.
So wait, you had two lies in there and one truth.
Oh, not do it backwards.
I got half credit on that one. I got the skydiving one. So wait,
down, right?
you use a fake name when you travel.
So when I go, I say my name's TJ.
Really? Why is that?
I just like to give those initials and not my real name.
Got you.
No, when we, sometimes for law enforcement, you don't want some people knowing who you are. So just with identity stuff nowadays,
Yeah.
I use the name TJ.
And so
Makes it simple.
So when you're off duty, you don't drink and get drunk.
Nope.
No. Are you do you drink ever?
Yeah, occasionally I do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
drunkenness.
The reason why I asked about your fear was I was hoping that you like slip up and say, "Oh, heights," and I was like, "All right, bruh."
Yeah, skydiving wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Would you go skydiving?
You know what? In my younger days, I would if I had a chance to do it, I'd have did it. Nowadays, I don't like putting my life in no one's hands but my own.
I respect that. I respect that. The answer for me is no.
Straight up.
My biggest fear. I have three big fears. It's heights, the ocean, and just like I think you should be scared because you can just who knows what's gonna happen the next day, you know.
Right.
And so I heights has always been my one. This is actually really bad of me. I do fly. Like I used to go to California every summer, and
Hmm.
I would not be scared to because there's a lot of people in the plane. So I go if the plane goes down, I'm not the only one going down. That was my logic in my head. It was like I'm not the only one going down. These people would join me. The ocean,
Gotcha.
the ocean. I'm fine with pools and lakes and rivers. I don't like the ocean because that's literally their home, and there's sharks out there. Have you like look at like go Google deep ocean, and like you'll see it's just endless deep, like a void of darkness. Okay, that's terrifying.
Gotcha.
But yeah, hey, so I could be a detective if I wanted to.
You could possibly be one
Yeah,
if
hey, look at
that's your
that.
criteria. If that's your criteria. Oh
All right,
shoot.
T Hop. So this is the part of the show where I like to ask my guests some questions from our sponsor, Poddex. Real quick, let me tell you about Poddex. Real quick, you might need these on your show. Not saying that you're a bad interviewer, but they really help you out. Poddex
Okay.
are a deck of cards that allow you to ask your guests all sorts of questions. Right now in this episode, we're going to be using the Would You Rather deck. So I'll be asking you Would You Rather questions, and you have to choose. And you can't say or. You have to choose. That's the rule. You can go to
I should.
You can go to poddex.com and use the promo code TCLIVE. That's TC Live to get 10% off your first purchase. T Hop, are you ready for this?
I'm ready, brother.
I see you're driving.
Well, I want to change positions because the sun is like killing me, bro. So let me just change positions real quick. All right. Now again, I apologize for not being at home or in my office.
No, you're all good. This is the first interview I've
So
ever had that was in a car.
yeah, notice a lot of the Zoom interviews, even real media
Yeah.
guys are in their car all the time.
Yeah. It's because I bet you because it's audio, I think.
Yeah.
Or that or their kids are home or something. But all right. Poddex.com, would you rather TCLIVE at checkout, 10% off your first purchase. Are you ready, T-Hop?
I'm ready.
All right. Would you rather have the most embarrassing photo posted on Facebook or accidentally fall in public and the video goes viral?
Fall in public.
Why?
That's easy.
All right.
That doesn't even bother me.
Okay. Or here, do you remember that one case that happened with the police officer that's dancing and he had his gun on him and it fell out of its holster and it went off?
No.
You never saw it? I'll send it to you. But yeah, there was a case where like a police officer was like at a party and like they were like, "Oh, come dance with us," and you're like, "All right," and he went and danced and he like did a whole break dance, like it was really good, but his gun fell out of his holster and it went off on the ground.
Oh my gosh. No,
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
and he got like, I think he had like probation after that. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I'll send you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next question. Would you rather wear a onesie 24/7 for a year or wear a horse head costume for a month straight? Now, mind you, the horse head costume is the whole horse costume, so there's going to be somebody behind you for that month.
All right. I wear a onesie.
You wear a onesie?
Yep.
Any type of onesie that you would wear?
No, nothing special.
Oh,
Because
you have.
I can wear a onesie under some clothes. So I got you on that one.
Oh, look at you playing it smart. All right, all right. I think I would go with the onesie too, and I just wear it, and I just show up to work. Like, hey, this is what I had to do.
Got you.
All right, all right. Would you rather Be handcuffed to the most annoying person you know for 24 hours. Or go camping with someone you like, but they don't like you back.
Camping with someone I like.
And they don't like you back.
Correct.
All right. What if that person was your wife?
What if it was
It
wife?
was your wife. Like, we found the
The person,
person.
the person you can't put or handcuffed
You're
to.
the person you're camping with is somebody that you like, but they don't like you. The handcuff is person
Oh,
the most annoying person.
yeah, that would not be good if it's your spouse. But hey, I still I still choose the camping as opposed to being handcuffed with somebody that would drive you totally wild.
Now, I would choose the opposite. I would choose the handcuff to the annoying person. This is what I would do. I would out annoy him. So I would annoy
Oh my
him and see how
god,
he likes it. Yeah.
Okay, that's one way to tackle that one.
You gotta be smart.
Gotcha.
You gotta be smart.
Gotcha.
All right. Poddex TCLIVE. 10% off your purchase. 10% off your whole purchase. First purchase. That's a great deal. Next question.
Sweet, man.
Would you rather lick the pus out of a pop zit or lick a busted blister? This one's a gross one. It's do or die, man. It's do or die.
Probably the blister.
Be the blister?
I do.
Are you the guy that eats scabs?
No.
All right, all right. I would probably do the same. I think, no. Honestly, I would pick neither, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick the blister.
Yeah, neither's great, but
Neither.
hey, gotta
I'll
make
allow
a
the neither on this one. But since you already answered, you weirdo. All
choice.
right. Would you rather lick every inanimate object you see or be licked by every living thing you see?
Let's see here.
COVID was not
I'll
a
do.
factor. COVID was not a factor in this situation.
I I do the licking.
You do the licking?
Yep.
Yeah, freak. I go, you lick the door handle, and I'm like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, I do it myself. Yeah, I'd be more apprehensive about what's licking me.
Yeah, yeah, true. Because like that means if you see somebody, they automatically just like turn at you like in a horror movie type and just run at you
Yeah.
to lick you. Next question: would you rather have long nose hair or long ear hair?
Wow. Probably ear hair.
Ear hair?
Probably.
Any
Yes.
any reason why?
I think the nose. I think if you're talking to somebody, they would probably focus on the nose hair more than the ear hair.
Yeah,
You know, unless they're at your side. But if you're having a conversation, talking straight to them, and you got a fro coming out your nose, they're probably all
hey,
over it. Dude.
yeah. And I would just put my AirPods or something in that just covers them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
speak up, type of thing.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one. All right, would you rather have to grow, hunt, and kill your own food, or only eat Taco Bell for a year?
Grow, hunt, kill.
Yeah, what would you grow?
Yep. Of course, vegetables are the easy.
Hmm.
That would be real simple. Some fruit. So that would be easy. Hunt, right? You
Yeah.
can hunt. You can kill chicken. You can kill beef all day long. You can fish.
In fact, you can
No.
farm the chicken and cows, have them
Yeah.
reproduce, and just keep living off of that. Yeah. Of course,
Right. Right.
of course, I would probably pick Taco Bell because I want that sponsorship. All
Yeah.
right, next question. All right, this one's a controversial one.
Okay.
Would you rather have a deep dish pizza or a thin crust pizza?
Wow.
Yes.
Deep.
Deep. All right. Now the following question is pineapple or no pineapple?
Pineapple.
Really? Pineapple on pizza?
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another one exists.
I'm about to say you don't do it. Yeah,
Oh, I do it. I like
yeah,
Hawaiian.
yeah. Got. I
Oh,
love that taste. I like the contrast.
all right. So we have three more. You can pick
Okay.
one, two, or three.
Okay.
Which one do you want to pick?
Let's go with three.
Go with three. All right. Would you rather have to take cold showers for the rest of your life, or never get more than 4 hours of sleep ever again?
Never get more than 4 hours of sleep. Mhm.
Oh yeah, this is a hard one.
Nah, I think I'll go with cold showers.
Really, I think I would go to the sleep one because that's already my sleep schedule.
I was about to say that. I do five. I can't do more than 6 hours at any given time.
Yeah,
Uh, so I'm like, but yeah, I could. I do cold showers because a lot of times I shower after I work out, and
yeah.
hot water is too much. I'll generally turn it to cold.
Mm-mm. Yeah. All right. Second to last question. Would you rather put ketchup or ranch dressing on everything you eat?
Everything I eat,
Either ketchup or
man,
ranch, or together.
prob-
That'd be a bonus. That'd be a bonus answer. You could put together.
probably ranch.
Ranch. Okay. All right. That means. Oh wait a minute. You know what I just realized? If you picked ketchup, that means you have to put ketchup on your salads.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
or eat them dry. Oh.
And it probably means you're going to be eating a whole bunch of stuff you probably shouldn't be eating with ketchup, right?
Yep.
If you're doing ranch, now that's salad or something like that. So
Yeah.
go with ranch.
For the last question of the night with poddex.com, use promo code TCLIVE to get 10% off your first purchase. You gotta dig it in.
I
You gotta,
like that, bro.
yeah. Last question.
Got it.
Would you rather wear adult diapers for the rest of your life or never wear underwear again? Yep.
Never wear.
That was quick.
Very quick.
Why? I want to know why. Why not the adult diapers?
Adult diapers mean you're doing something on yourself. That's that's neat one, bro.
So you're just going commando for the rest of your life.
Straight up.
Well, Tiop, I want to thank you for answering these questions with Poddex. Good, guys, go to poddex.com and get the whole collection, man. I have all of them right here. And they're different questions. You got the what the heck deck. They ask you like weird questions. Got the interview deck, so for people who don't know how to ask questions on their show, Poddex got you handled. You got the episode deck. They give you episode ideas. I've used some of these for questions when I needed some. And of course, the Would You Rather deck. And there's also tons more coming out. And of course, their new app, Poddex. Man, TCLIVE to get 10% off your first purchase. T Hop, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. It was a blast having you on, and I really learned a lot from you. And I hope you can come back on again in the future. Hopefully, I'll be a guest on your show as a fellow detective. So,
Well, the pleasure's all mine, Trent. Glad you asked. First of all, anything I can do to help bridge the gap between law enforcement and the community, I am there to do. And brother, you have a really good show. I like it. I like
thank
your
you, thank
disposition.
you. It's just two
Yeah,
guys hanging out. That's it.
two guys.
Literally,
Yeah,
this would be if it was in person. Like we would have beers and just drinking. Like, oh, what do you think about this type thing? But
nothing like
yeah.
that.
Well, again, thank you coming
Well,
on. Is there anything that you want to shout out before we close?
hey man, if more people realize what you just said, it's just hanging out and having conversation, man. That's it. We complicate it way too much.
Yeah.
So hey man, you guys just continue to support Trent. Come over to Please Talk 101 on Tuesday nights at Fishbowl Radio Network, and we can talk about some of these issues and hammer them out. And wish you guys the best.
Yeah. Well, guys, again, go check out Please Talk 101, FBRN.us. It's a great show. Sometimes I'm on it. Sometimes I'm on it. If I'm not scared enough. But
Ha.
but guys, again, thank you guys for watching, listening, and everything. Please share, like, all that fun stuff. And we're gonna be out of here. All right, guys. Peace.
Deuces. See you later, brother.
Later, man.